2.3 is use scatter plots to analyze data. So we're going to take a look first at dependent variables and independent variables. And what a dependent variable is that it's a variable that's affected by some other variable. Okay, so it depends. If you look at the word dependent, it depends on another variable. Okay, and we plot that on the y-axis. So we have the x-axis and the y-axis. The dependent variable is always the y-axis. And the independent variable is a variable that affects the value. So this one actually affects the value of another variable. For example, time. Time is always independent, and that goes along the x-axis. Okay. Also, when you have a table of values, you have x and y. X is always on the left, x is always independent, and y is always on the right, and that's always dependent. So let's identify the dependent and independent variable in each of the following examples. So you can get dependent and independent variables in words. So for example, does the outdoor temperature affect the amount of fuel needed to heat a house? Amount of fuel. Okay, so dependent and independent. I look at this like the amount of fuel I need depends on the temperature outside. So the amount of fuel depends on the outdoor temperature. Okay. B, is there a relationship between the length of someone's hair and time? So I look at this like, okay, well, the length must depend on the time, right? Because the longer the time, the longer your hair is going to get. So let's put dependent would be the length. Oh, I'm on white. There we go. The length of your hair, and that's going to depend on the time. And again, remember time is always independent. Okay. C, is there a relationship between the amount of a speeding ticket, so the cost, and the speed driven? Well, yeah, the amount is obviously going to depend on the speed. The more you speed, like the more you speed, the greater the amount's going to be. And D, the time you spend practicing free throws, so in basketball, and the number of free throws made. So your made shots, made free throws, put FT, is going to depend on how much you practice.